Welcome to Beyond Profile. Today is October 11th, and we are exactly 1 week since we last talked about the balance area being probed and failure. When we last left you on last Tuesday, we had said that we were looking at this as being a probe failure. That was probably one of the least probabilities because of all of the doom and gloom in the world, but we said we had to consider the fact that if they probe the balance area on this very mature profile, that within a day we would see some sort of a reversal back up inside of it, and then we would go out the other side of this. Well, here we are. Yesterday we closed up at 1192 area after being down as low as 1068 a week ago, Tuesday, and we are now looking for this to break out above the prior pivot highs, which as we said before, somewhere in this 1224 area. Because remember, the logic behind this is when you have a 2-month value area, as we did here for August and September, this balance area leads for some substantial structure in the market. And when one side of it gets probed like it did here, with this probe, tried to go lower, there was no follow through, extended lower, snap back, right? And then we have this strong vertical move up. Even yesterday's gap open up over Friday's close. This is working its way to head out over the prior pivot high. Now, whether or not we continue outside of that, that'll be yet to be seen here. But we know that over top of us here would be almost back to 1300. There's a pretty good void here as far as structure. There's nothing really here from that 1300 level back to the breakout area of really about 1220, 1224 area, somewhere right in here. So by the pullbacks, this is what we're doing this week, and we continued to do it last week because we know once we get the failure here, we're going to work our way back to the top of the rotation, and we're close. We're very close. Maybe we put in a lower high here, but when we start getting back to the top of it, it gets harder to buy, right? It gets harder to buy because you're thinking, well, I should have been long 4 or 5 days ago for this move, and that is correct. So when we start getting closer to the top here, we will be a little bit more cautious about getting out of the long positions. Not so much interested in the short position. Even yesterday, if you were in the trading room, I don't think I mentioned once that we were going to look to short, except when we were at one key reference area, and that was it. The rest of it was just get on board on the pullbacks, buy the pullbacks. When you have a strong move up day like that, you just don't fight the gap. Number one, when you have a strong gap like this yesterday, because what has happened here is everybody who was short Friday going home short. They wake up to this big gap up, and they're in panic mode. They're just reaching for liquidity here to get out of their short positions as this thing is running to the top side, and you don't want to fight that on the short side on a gap open day like that. So this morning it looks like we're going to be opening right within yesterday's range. Looks like they came back and tested the point of control from yesterday, the 81 area already pre-market. So is this a pause day? Before continuation, we're going to have a small narrow range today, or is it just going to be another wide range candle up to take us right up into the top end of this? And when we get to the top end of it, of course, we'll be looking for, I would imagine the very first time into it, you'll see some sort of a reversal away from that, as it may be some sort of a head fake, if you will, because they want to get people trapped now on the short side. And then if we sit here and we go sideways, we'll look for the extension a lot higher, back up probably, like I said, almost probably to the prior breakdown area, 1300. Now, keep in mind we've got earnings this week are starting into earnings season. That's going to dictate, really the price action here. And maybe it's a matter of us going back to the top of the rotation and this market coming all the way back down again. Okay, we've covered a lot of territory here in 1 week, that's for sure. From Tuesday to Tuesday, you can see where we're at. We're well over plus 100 points in the S&P. So the other thing that I would be watching here would be also the cash market. Watch the cash when it gets to 1200, the psychological number. And again, this is a V pivot of all V pivots because you came down clean and you came right straight back up clean. If you were looking for higher low pivots, any sort of initiative trade, you didn't get it. Right, you didn't get it, and that's the way the market has been lately. It's very very responsive at key reference areas, and then they just jump on it and move it in that direction. And you don't hardly ever get, even on an intraday basis, if you're looking at a key reference area, you hardly ever get a second opportunity at areas. You have to learn to be responsive at some key reference areas in order to get on board. And again, the market's it's just it's the new way that the market's working here with you know, the HFTs and stuff. So we're going to be looking for, I think, a rotation type day today. The euro seems to be holding up here this morning. We'll see if we can get some structure built in this. Yesterday we had nothing until we came back down to almost the 76 level before the close, and then we rallied to new highs. So we do have some structure that's being built in the chart here from yesterday's move up, and that's what we want to see to continue this move to the upside, is some sort of a pause, and then we get our continuation move to the upside and to possibly over new highs. Because remember, we've seen this many times. 2-month mature profile, probe one end of it, means we go out the other side of it. All right, so I'm still looking for new highs over these prior highs of 1224. Have a good trading day, everyone. We'll see you in the room.